Here he is, look at this bit of kit. And these are K-Swap, the World t-shirt. So I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, I've put a turbo on it. So welcome back to another episode of Geared, and this is the first episode of 2022. Work has just been crazy and life has just got in the way. I've had so much on, but I'm finally managing to get through things and get back on with the Geared videos. Now this is part 6 of my K20 Clio 182. As you can see, we're in the garage today. Behind me we've got the motorbikes, but as you can see there is no car. So what we're going to be doing is going up to street races in Leicester and collecting the K20 Clio 182. Now it's been a long time since I've updated you on this. A few things have changed and I'll go through it all a little bit more in depth shortly. My mate's going to come and pick me up. I think he's outside now, and I'm not going to go crazy on the way back because it still needs a few things doing. I'm not going to do a first drive video. I want to save that until I go out actually on the track and give you an insight into what it's like. But we're going to meet Dan and we'll go up to street races in Leicester. So I'll see you shortly. You got a little jumper on, have you? Here he is, look at this bit of kit. Megane Mark 4. So it's I think it's 280. Dan, is it 280? Yeah, so it's a 280. It's absolutely gopping because he hasn't cleaned it. Say hello.
Hello brother, you alright?
Alright mate, you?
Living the dream.
Look at the seats in these, standard seats these?
Yeah, it's filthy in here mate, filthy.
Oh lovely. What have you been playing at?
Don't want to know.
To get straight in the car. Look what he's listening to. Skater by Avril Lavigne. Classic that
Great
mate.
Tune. Great tune.
So we're now at street races in Leicester and I'm going to pick up the Clio. So there's been a few changes. You can probably see another Clio here. This is Glenn's mate of mine. This is also getting a K-Swap and it's just getting the ECU and everything done here as well. So I'm sorry if you can't hear me, excuse the wind, it is mad windy here. So there's been a few changes to my K20 Clio and I will show you them now. So I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, I've put a turbo on it. I'm sorry to disappoint you, this is not getting a turbo. This is staying naturally aspirated, but I will show you what has been done for it to produce a bit more power. So there we've got a Skunk 2 Ultra Street inlet manifold. Nice little bit of kit that. I've got to put the logo on there. I haven't got round to it yet. So with that we've also put and got a adapter plate made up for this throttle body here. Now this is the Porsche 74mm throttle body. So yeah, I've got a Porsche now. No, not quite, but 74mm electronic throttle body. So that now works alongside the ECU with it being fly-by-wire. I've had to come inside the car because it is so windy outside. I don't think anyone would have heard me. So it's now running a different ECU. This has been mapped again and it has now made 251.1 horsepower. So that's up about 10 horsepower just from that inlet manifold and throttle body, which is a big difference. Now I know a lot of people have said it can't make that, but as long as it runs properly and it drives nice, I'm not really too fussed about what it has made. So anyway, we'll go in and speak to Gordon, see what has changed and why we had to change the ECUs. It has been a long time coming and this has been a bit of a pain for Gordon as well, so I do apologise Gordon, but we've managed to crack it, he's managed to crack it, and this is going to be offered to a lot of people now if they do want to do these conversions. And we know Gordon knows what is required and what is needed for it to run perfect. Now the ECU, the change in it, we've managed to get all of the dials working. That's a rev counter, the speedo, the temperature sensor and the fuel gauge. Everything is working, and it is still Renault. So it's still Renault. We haven't got an EP3 dash in it or anything. It is still Renault, and it is all the bits still apart, so it all still needs putting together. But yeah, everything's working. Rev counter works, which was one of the main things. Okay then, Gordon, so we've had a few problems with the ECU initially. So we were running a Max Sporty
before,
and that's what it was mapped on initially.
Yeah, that's what we initially mapped it on. Obviously we were, at the time we explained that the CAN bus wasn't working, so none of the dash worked. I've not managed to figure that out yet, so for the quicker result, well, not really quicker, but for the end result to be now, we've gone over to ECU Master. They've already got the CAN bus programmed for the 182, 197 and so on, so we've ended up going that way. That's all programmed in now. All your fly-by-wire, everything's working, dash is all working, so you now have a water gauge and a rev counter, speedo.
Everything that we need.
Yeah, everything you're supposed to have.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to have that Renault, obviously.
Yes,
you know,
it makes it a better kit, you know, because obviously people can plug it in and the original dash is all going to work. So
yeah, of course,
this is the way we've had to go.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously it's taken a little bit of time, but you know, a lot of lessons learned doing it. And
yes,
and you've got another one to do now.
I have got two more.
So two more, yeah. And so we mentioned that you got a 197.
Yeah, that's we're literally just in the process doing. I hope to have that running this week.
Yeah. So is that going to be ECU Master as well?
That's ECU Master as well, yeah.
So I think with like moving forward, if people want to do these ECU Master,
definitely for keeping the dash together, then yes.
Okay.
Definitely.
Nice one, but yeah, we're finally there, and it made a little bit more power. Was it 251?
It was definitely 250 something.
Yeah. Torque wise, I can't remember what we said the torque was. I'll have to. I'll have to have a look at that. But yeah, it's nice that it's made a bit more power with that new inlet and throttle body. So is it 74mm throttle body? I think it was, wasn't it? But yeah, I'm buzzing to have a little go in it. Obviously, I'm not gonna go crazy, but yeah, thank you very much for all your help.
That's all right.
And I'll see you soon.
Yeah, no worries.
Cheers, Gordon.
Cheers.
So we're now back in the Clio, and I'm going to drive it for the first time. Going to start it for the first time. I'm going to drive it back to Birmingham, and then I'm going to take it up to custom production, where we'll finish off the rest of this video. But before I go any further, we have got some new t-shirts coming out. They're on the way to me right now, and these are K-Swap the World t-shirts. I've only made 50 of these, so make sure you grab yourself one. These are nice soft cotton, thicker cotton. Print a new geared print logo on the front and a K-Swap the World on the back. Now these will be really ideal for going to track days. If you're a big fan of Hondas and K-Swaps, you know, wear them at shows or just wear them out and about. But I hope you enjoy them. I have invested a bit of money into these ones, so they do cost a little bit more, unfortunately. But we're going to start it up. Let's go. So, I'm not going to go mad. But yes, nice to have lights all. Good start. Right, I've had to get it bump started, but yes, it's working finally. It had to literally bump start it from up there, but I'm glad it's got it started. So this isn't the sort of first drive I had planned. I was hoping it would be dry, but it's actually quite nice to drive. There's a few little issues with it, like the steering wheel is not straight, it needs a line in. Throttle's very sensitive, and the clutch, if anything, is probably over clutching, if that's the thing, so it struggles to get in gear. So you like half clutch it and it goes into gear, so that needs looking at. And the brakes are obviously pretty much non-existent, with it being with them needing a bleed, but they do work sort of. But yeah, nice steady drive back. We're gonna have to put some fuel in a bit, but yeah, buzzing, absolutely buzzing to drive it. feels so different. Very, very responsive and very raw. It sounds really good as well. Finally back after driving through pretty much a thunderstorm to get here. Not the best of weather conditions, especially with a car that hardly has any brakes and no power steering, but we're here and that is the main thing. Tracking needs doing, and obviously the brakes, clutch, a few things need looking at, but that is what custom production are going to be doing because it isn't quite finished yet. Just a few little final touches and then it is back with me and I can use it. So then you join me on a different day at the back of the garage, and I thought to myself the other day, you know what, I'm going to start it up just to make sure it starts before I take it up to Doncaster, and guess what, it didn't start. So we had to do a bit of experimenting. I took the coil packs out and the plugs, just made sure they weren't covered in any sort of mess, but as you can see we got the Focus here. So we took the battery off the Focus and we put it, so as I said earlier in the video, the battery has been relocated to the back, which is one of these Odyssey PC 680s. I've ran one of these in the Civic Turbo and I did have a couple of issues with it, but it turned out it was okay in the end, and it was the starter motor that was playing up. But it now works on this, so I don't know if there's a bit of a fault with that battery or what. I'm not sure. I mean, half of me is tempted just to run a normal size battery so I don't have any issues, because they can be a little bit temperamental sometimes. So anyway, I've turned it off. I just want to make sure I can start it back up again, because it did take a while to start on that bigger battery. So I'm going to put the camera back here and fingers crossed it starts first time. So yeah, a little bit lumpy to start then. I don't know if that's just because it hasn't been for a run out. I mean, I'll give it a little rev in a second. So that is what it goes in the back. I've got loads of parts that still need sort of fixing in place. Something that I probably haven't mentioned in the other videos is going with a standalone ECU. We've been able to retain the ABS, so it has still got its ABS. I mean, ABS on the road, having no ABS on the road, it can be quite bad, especially in the wet. You end up locking up. I mean, it's better for the track obviously, but it is filthy from coming down from Leicester not so long ago. Give it a little tickle, let it warm up a sec. So it's got launch control set up, so it holds the revs about 4.5, I think it is, 5, and lets off a few bangs as it does that as well. So you join me on a different day and we're heading up north to drop the car off. A lot better weather today, which is nice, but as you can see we're doing about 70 miles an hour and the revs are nearly at 4,000 RPM, and that's because of the shorter finer drive. We've got a 5.1 finer drive in this gearbox. So I mean, this is in 6th gear and just look how responsive it is. Like straight away it is wanting to go, and that's what having a shorter finer drive is all about. So the power is always there. Obviously it makes the top speed a lot shorter. I'm not sure what it's going to top out at, maybe 140-ish I'd imagine, which is still enough for a track day obviously. So we're now here at custom production. We're going to leave the Clio here. This is where it all started. This was where it all got built and put together. So a few little bits that need doing, as I said earlier: electric power assisted steering, brakes, clutch. Things just need all finishing off, like the alignment. I'm having the rear beam all freshly powder coated so it can match the front, and we'll have an induction kit made up as well so we can get that air filter nice and close to the front bumper so it can suck that cold air in. I'm tempted to sort of leave it as it is with that interior, just clean it up and not put a roll cage in, and I think it'll be more appealing. I think it'll look quite good as it is. I don't want to ruin it at all, but we're going to leave the video there, and hope you did enjoy it, and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one. Cheers.